Wilson Trophy Company.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was the 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything, and there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we can actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and making these lifelong bonds.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, we were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been like really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
It was nice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Overland Park Soccer Complex, brought to you by Shields, site of the 2019 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. I'm Todd Panula, and I'm here to bring you Turbo Sports Group's production of this 16 and under Girls National Final. We'll be playing for the Mavis Derflinger Cup, and it's going to be Legends IE out of San Bernardino, California. Head coach Ted Small against Lou Fusz out of St. Louis, Missouri, coached by Caleb McGee. Your officials for this morning's contest is going to be Haley Morway in the middle. For your assistant referees, the AR1 is going to be Ryan Nee. AR2 is Joy Knuff, and the fourth official is Jose Arana. These two teams come in having had slightly differing pathways to the national championship. Both of them ended up as National League champions. Legends IE won National League Black with a record of 7-0-0, an identical record for Lou Fusz as they were victorious in the National League White. Both teams finished second in the group. Legends IE finished behind Las Vegas Soccer Academy National League, and Lou Fusz was second in their group to PSA National based on goal differential, which came down to the second tiebreaker. So goals against, which was the second tiebreaker. The initial tiebreaker is normally goal differential, but they were exactly even on that. But Lou Fusz had allowed 2 goals, whereas PSA National only had 1 goal against. We'll give you a little bit more about these teams and who they defeated on their way through, but we are underway here in Overland Park. National championship on the line. Legends IE wearing the white kits with the black shorts, all blue for Lou Fusz. Had an opportunity to cover Legends IE on their last group stage game. That was when they defeated Sunrise Sting by a score of 4-2. So the offense came alive in that game, but it was a little bit difficult to come by earlier in this contest, as the championship was not kind offensively to Legends IE, as they had 0 goals through their first 2 matches. But they didn't allow any goals in those 2 matches either. 0-0 against Iowa Rush and Las Vegas Soccer Academy. Looped up the line as Lou Fusz gets its first bit of possession. Sarah Foley looking for an opportunity to push forward. Now they get it up towards the midfield stripe, pushing up with a little bit of purpose as Neidhart sends it up onto the attack, but Netzel was offside. Good build-up plays with some quick passing for Lou Fusz, but just a bit too early, a bit too eager there from Netzel. Legends IE will set things up from the back as they're fairly deliberate here along the back line. Ledoux calling for it here on the near side, and she will get it. Up onto the attacking side, trying to get it up to Bennett. Bennett has a goal to her name, one of those goal scorers in the final group stage against Sunrise. Interesting thing about Legends is they've had 5 different goal scorers, so nobody in double digits. Legends setting it up. Ledoux up the sideline looking for White. White possesses a decent amount of speed, able to catch up to that one. Did stay in on the initial cross, and then it was met on the way through, so it'll end up being a corner kick. Now the goal comes in off the set piece. Somewhat out of nowhere, there was a bit of a delay in the reaction there, and ultimately the goal comes for Legends IE, and they score here in the opening stages of this match. In the 4th minute of play, Legends IE manages to get the goal to put themselves up 1-0. So striking early. Somewhat different than they've managed to do in some of their other matches. Jeffries setting it up for Lou Fusz. O'Neal comes through the middle. First chance for the team out of St. Louis to get some attacking here, and now a chance off the goalkeeper, off the shot from Netzel. It rebounded a couple times between the goalkeeper and the defender. So a bit of nervy moments there for Legends, with the free kick ultimately given up. So Lou Fusz pushed back on their heels momentarily, but they are right back in it.
Back close, girls. Sarah, focus.
They go on the ground with the free kick, trying to set it up towards the end line. It would not stay in for Sarah Foley. Not a bad workaround there, as that was a designed play. The kick went short to Neidhart, right in the middle of the pitch, and she served it through a gap. And it was a good run from Foley, but the ball just had a little too much spin on it, carrying it out. Chance to push upfield now for O'Neal, back through the middle. Foley dropped it back. Beck looks over the top. Foley was offside.
Come on, switch that bad boy. Let's get it, Club. Hey, continue to move it. You got time on the ball. Get in there, attacking third. Set up the arc game.
Legends have the 1-0 lead. Goal coming in the 4th minute of play. Not even 5 minutes into this contest, and they managed to put it in off the corner kick. Ledoux through the middle. Legends starting to build a little more possession after Lou Fusz had it for a good minute or so. Long ball over the top. White, the intended target, didn't have the angle. Back the other way. O'Neal in possession for Lou Fusz. Pushing it out to the right for Foley. Return pass towards the end line. Duffy gave a little bump there as the two number 11s collided. Duffy won that battle. Collins put it back into play, up to the forward line. Again, trying to find that pass through the gap. Romero was looking for White here on the near side. Close to a handball, but the official was at a bad angle to see that one. Looked like it might have gone off the shoulder nevertheless. Beck pops it out wide. Netzel couldn't corral it, runs into touch. Wind continues to blow here in Overland Park, a much more normal Kansas wind than we've become accustomed to. It's been fairly calm throughout this week. A day here or there where it would be a little more blustery, but it's been fairly consistent throughout this morning. Played to the outside by Hilton. Second opportunity to do something different. Back and forth between the center backs. Not too much in the way of options. Duffy was calling for it. Instead, they go right up the middle. Bennett was looking for it. Had it kind of stolen away. White pushing on the pressure. Pope sends it up towards the circle. One-touch pass ends up with Beck. Ledoux, her throw-in was intercepted. And now on the transition comes O'Neal, finds a little bit of space, passes through the gap, 2 runners, and the defender got there first. Coach Small preaching patience, especially with his team in command of this one. White, Jeffries right there, but White able to circle around. Pass to Bennett wasn't quite on. Pope all the way back. Looping one over the top, gets in behind the defenders, pushing into the boxes, Netzel, and then coming at the last moment. Camper doing a good job to get in front of that one. Right now, Legends content to just play a little defense, attempting not to use up too much energy chasing the ball, so they just kind of stay in position. Netzel. Smith. Pope. White comes to put on a little bit of pressure, try to force a mistake. Pope continues the run, instead taking it herself as Neidhart stepped right into the teeth of the defenders. Pope. Jeffries flashing out wide, but Pope will come up the middle. Bennett putting the pressure on. Kehoe. Neidhart to Smith. Smith looks left, looking for any kind of open space. Netzel cuts through 2 defenders, takes on a third, drives into the box. Camper able to at least slow that up. Now the shot coming, comes up high on the defender. She took it right off the chest. Lou Fusz building into the game. They've had a decent amount of possession, driven it into the attacking box, but yet to find that final ball as of yet. Lacing one for Metzel on the far side. Metzel hits the ground, Neidhart with the ball. Smith drives past the defender, stepping up to help. Elsie Romero. Ledoux. Line drive, looking for Bennett. Fortunate bounce. Romero pops it over the top. White trying to run onto it with Jeffries right on her. Jeffries trying to shoulder her off. Pops loose for White. Jeffries makes the steal, but gives up the corner. Substitution coming in now for Legends, Chloe Tatalini, who's given a very early verbal commitment to the University of Toledo. Tatalini and Ledoux, as of right now, planning to become Toledo Rockets, but still plenty of time for them to change up that decision should they want to. everybody in place, and they'll go on the corner. Already utilized the corner well, and they had a player open on the backside. Nobody flashing to that ball. And a wide open look at it for Legends, but it ended up off the head and just wide of goal. Lou Fusz has been solid in the midfield. Attack has tried to build up into the box. And so far, set pieces have been what has done them in nearly twice. Looped up by Foley. Defender dealt with it. Ledoux sends it back. Romero was calling for it, but instead it's Ocello. Ledoux back to Ocello. Content to just pass it along the defensive line right now. Ocello. Ted Small asking for movement out of his team. Not a whole lot to be had. Everybody kind of sticking in position, kind of trotting around within a 5-yard window or so, but that makes it pretty easy for the defenders to follow. Haley Norway and Joy Knuff agreed that that one was last touched by Legends. Lou Fusz with the throw, but Netzel with absolutely no space to work. Camper to Ocello. All the way back for Collins. Tatalini open here on the side. Instead, Romero in the middle. Good challenge, able to steal it away. Filtered on through to Foley. Foley eating up the space. Once again, they tried to split the two defenders. They've been successful in doing so at various times here in the early stages of the first half, but it's not necessarily a game plan you want to live off of. White trying to take advantage of the miscue. This one pops back out. White going to take on the defenders as she's got the pace to do so. Coming over there at the last moment was Pope. She plays it out. It'll be a corner kick. Substitution coming in for Lou Fusz. Entering the game is going to be Brenna Rutherford. And she will come in for Sarah Foley. So another corner kick from this near side for Legends. Ledoux was flashing outside, but they're going to go straight for the target. This time it's dealt with by the defenders. Netzel, only one defender to beat if she can do so. Netzel slowed up just enough. Second attempt to push forward was pushed back again. Ocello, the last player in defense and standing tall. Neidhart. Options to the right. Comes extremely wide now to Rutherford. She drives in from the corner, right around the end line, plays it out for the corner kick. Needed to serve that up a little bit quicker if she actually intended to get it across, but once the defender got into position, and had a bad idea by Rutherford to just kind of blast that one off the defender and out. Kick to be taken by O'Neill. Good drive behind it, awkwardly off Jeffries. Now the shot coming in. Smith puts it just wide. kind of opened up that shooting foot a little too much. Didn't allow her to curl it towards target the way she wanted. Nevertheless, a good opportunity for Lou Fusz to take a strike. As they try to climb back into this contest after the early opportunity for Legends IE. Girls National Championship for 16 and under. White trying to double up the lead. White takes the drive, and it's right at Hilton. My mistake, looked at the wrong roster. Good save by Madeline Davis. Rutherford trying to win it back. Ledoux too strong here on the near side. Duffy laid it back. Duffy again. Ocello. This time they loop it up towards midfield. And there's Bennett. Pope was right there. Decent idea from O'Neill. The execution wasn't quite there. Hilton got it up through the midfield. Center circle. Back. Had Rutherford here on the wing, but they've pushed it to the sideline along the defensive side. That kind of closed up the options. Romero coming up through the middle. Pope once again strong. Tatalini. Camper making the run on the right. Camper plays it in off the defender. Wouldn't go though, so it stays in. Davis keeps it alive. They go short to Pope with it. Jeffries.
You need some movement, girl.
Pope a handful of dribbles. Gets the return pass from O'Neill. Tatalini was right there, and then White put on the pressure to disrupt the pass. Challenge from Burns, collided with Schroer, but Lou Fusz still in possession. O'Neill looking for Rutherford. Ledoux stepped up. Ledoux smartly slows it up. Bennett popping one through. White in behind. Flag stays down. White from the edge of the box looking for a corner kick. Couldn't play it off the defender correctly. One time in from Duffy. I don't think she knew how much time she had. Back to the near side for Lou Fusz. Pulling it back, Rutherford. O'Neill. Rutherford again. As they give and go, approaching the half line. Duffy, as the number 11s try to outdo each other. Neidhart. Metzel was over on the far wing, but they play it into space along the sideline instead. Schroer is pushed forward. Now it has to cut back. Neidhart gonna take a shot, trying to catch the keeper out, but ultimately that got caught up in the wind. I think if this was an absolutely still day, that would have been a really good idea. As Collins in good position overall, but maybe a step or two too far out. Schroer kind of coming back, able to win the throw for her team after she had pushed forward. Substitution coming up for Legends IE coming into the game, Riley Bradbury. She's going to replace Taryn Duffy. Netzel was deft with the touch in terms of flicking it over the shoulder, but nobody there to run on for it. Bradbury to Ledoux, looking for White. Pope was there. Mentioned her name several times as she's come up from that center back position to make several good stops. Schroer from the far side as Lou Fusz forced to retreat for a brief moment. Defensive help came. Beck to Jeffries now. Jeffries serves it up. O'Neal back to Jeffries. Beck. Netzel. Intercepted on the way through. Netzel throws in a shoulder. That disrupts that. Back again. Jeffries. Lou Fusz stringing together a lot of passes here, but a lot of White back defending. And that includes Lauren White, a wing attacker, but helping out defensively. Rutherford one time to the edge of the box. Netzel was there for the header, and then the shot ultimately came in from Neidhart. But she kind of hit it off the ankle, I think, and it didn't necessarily get a good drive through it. Beck wins the header. Jeffries trying to chase it down. Another substitution about to check in for Legends. It's Coach Small trying to keep his lineup fresh. Lou Fusz continues to build it up from the back. 28th minute. Netzel from the middle. Netzel takes a shot, score! The defense was on their heels just for a minute, and that was all that Netzel would need. Chloe Netzel, the leading scorer for Lou Fusz, and that's not going to please Coach Small at all, that they allowed the best striker of the ball for his opponent to have that much time on the ball in the middle of the field. So her 8th goal of the tournament, a very important one for Lou Fusz, as Netzel has tied this one up in 1. Goal comes in the 29th minute. As I mentioned, 8th of the tournament for Netzel. She scored some important goals in the semifinal, in which it took overtime to defeat Las Vegas. That punched their ticket, and now Netzel has given them more life here as we approach the later morning hours. Kickoff at 9:20 Central Time. No problem for those watching in St. Louis. A little bit earlier in the morning out in California. So we appreciate you getting up this morning to watch this national championship match. So these two teams looking for the Mavis Derflinger Cup. Legends looking for another goal off the corner kick attempt. Going for the back post. Too tall for everybody, though. Still in, though. Finally a whistle, and there's going to be a foul call coming out. As Haley Morway was not too pleased with the amount of contact going on there at the end line. Make sure to stay tuned after our broadcast to this YouTube channel. It is going to be on a separate stream, but there will be coverage of the trophy presentation later on. That one will come probably, I'd say give it at least 15, 20 minutes, perhaps a little bit more after the match. The two teams will head over to the stage off there in the distance where the American flag is at. And that's where the trophy presentation and medals will be handed out. The Turbo Sports Group will bring you all of that. Once this match is all finished up and the championship gear has been handed out and Gatorade spilled. Jeffries, pressure right in her face, but she passes around it. Not so for O'Neill, as she sent it right into Ledoux. Ledoux racing up from the left back spot now to put on a little bit more pressure.
It's gonna hurt you while you walk.
Davis had the ball get kind of caught up in the wind, but fortunately for her, O'Neill was right in the vicinity. Pope sent it out wide. Numbers pushing forward in blue now as they go to the far side. Netzel took it away after it was initially intended for Neidhart. Ledoux, Ocello. Hilton. Romero. Fernandez, who just came in moments ago. Lou Fusz will be making a substitution here at the next stoppage. Fernandez with a nice little saucer pass to the edge of the box. White trying to run onto it. Davis out. Lou Fusz finding themselves back in this game. Equalizing goal coming in the 29th minute. Chloe Netzel, after Legend had scored back in the 4th minute of play. Coming off the corner kick. Too heavy on the touch, so throw in for Legends. Substitution coming in for Lou Fusz is going to be Kaylee Judy. She will replace Chloe Netzel. So Netzel getting an extended breather before halftime. Tussle along the end line. Ultimately ends up favoring Bennett as she was able to win another corner. Substitutions coming fast and furious now. As checking into the game for Legends is going to be Corinne Barrickman. Barrickman replaces White. So Bennett will take the corner. Numbers pushing forward towards the near post. They go backwards a little bit. Camper was there. Quickly back in. Fusz trying to catch Legends in transition, but they weren't fast enough with the exit, so now they have to set it up along the backside. Rutherford checking back to pick that up with Ledoux right on her. Jeffries, Pope. Rutherford in behind, Ocello back to help. Trying to make the steal was Barrickman. Beck confident in her touch. Jeffries. O'Neal finally flashes forward, getting around two defenders. Put it out a little too far though, and Ledoux was smart to come up from the wingback spot. Barrickman just decides to lay it back. Bradbury. Hilton. Game's starting to settle into more of a midfield battle now. Rutherford with a chance to look forward. Players coming back in support though. Fernandez doing a good job to take away the passing lanes. Pope gives it over to Kehoe. And through the middle, now outside for Jeffries. Jeffries cycles it back, Pope. Beck. Neidhart is coming back. That was actually Judy. Smith in a tussle. Fusz stays in possession. Laced over here to the near side. Brought down by Rutherford. Up towards the edge of the 18. O'Neal has to take it outside. Throw-in's going to favor Fusz. It's a team out of St. Louis, continually building up, pushing forward. It seems like inch by inch, but it's somewhat effective right now as they're able to string some passes together. Rutherford, one time in towards the edge of the box. They had a player there, but again, coming back was Haley Hilton, and she was able to deal with it. Sliding challenge from Beck, doesn't come up with possession. Off the side of the foot, and that pass slightly weak from Bennett compared to what she needed on it, and ultimately it ends up rolling into touch. It'll stay with Legends IE. Bradbury sends it back for Hilton. Hilton calling out instructions to her forwards. Schroer able to avoid the pressure. Kehoe. Beck sends it back. O'Neal gets the pass from Pope. Beck once more. It seems to be forming a little bit of a triangle here. Pope pushes north. O'Neal. Rutherford with space on the right. Trying to turn on the speed. Cuts it back, puts it on the left foot. Right-footed dribble. Top of the box looking for Neidhart. Smith with it. Needed to shoot earlier if she was going to. Tried to slide it through for Rutherford, and it was ultimately cut out. Bennett able to disrupt that pass. Comes back. Good challenge from Beck to win that in the midfield. Player down for Legends. Fusz gives it up. Fernandez stands up, a little worse for wear. 1 minute of additional time going to be tacked on to the end of this half. Far side, pushing up into space. But the defender's right there. Fusz surrenders to throw him, but they'll be more than happy with that, as it allows them to get numbers back defensively. High up into the air, won by Camper. Edge of the box, just wouldn't settle down for Legends. Hilton for Ledoux. Quick passing, they were trying to come out here to the near side. Barrickman was making the run, but not quite into the path of that ball. Halftime whistle goes, 40 minutes played and nothing decided, as it's all knotted up, 1 goal apiece. Legends IE scoring in the 4th minute of play off the set piece. The corner kick ended up knotting it in. And then the equalizing goal coming in the 29th minute from Chloe Netzel. We'll take a quick break for your halftime, and when we come back, we'll have more soccer action from Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex. Don't go too far, more after this. Today's match is brought to you by AE Engine, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Target, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Expanda Brand, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLS, NCSA, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sunmade, TA Petro, United Soccer Coaches, U.S. Soccer Federation, Wilson Trophy Company.
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best. I think at the time it was 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation, and so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are like just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, I mean, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was like the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything. And there's just like such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. I mean, at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. I mean, we had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always like the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, so it still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and, making these lifelong bonds.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. We were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, just try to give them a future, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
Welcome back to the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex, just outside of Kansas City in Overland Park, Kansas, site of the 2019 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championship. Underway here in the second half between Fusz and Legends IE. Everything to play for in the final 40 minutes as it's tied 1-1. Legends IE, if you're just joining us, scored in the 4th minute as the goal came directly off the corner. It was a nicely floated ball, and coming out was Madeline Davis to try to make the grab, and it just kind of caught her a little bit fat on the hands. Wasn't able to handle it cleanly, and it ended up spilling into the goal. But her team would pick her up as Chloe Netzel would get her 8th goal of the tournament, scoring in the 29th minute as she was able to switch feet and then get a good shot off and play it into the far netting. Looking for something similar here as Neidhart was trying to go out wide to Netzel. That was intercepted on the way through. Good play to recognize what was going on by Camper. Right now, both coaches, obviously with things they would like their team to be doing better, but they can't have too much in the way of complaints. As you go into the second half and give yourself an opportunity, not too much more that you can ask for. Obviously, Coach Small would be hoping that his team could have held on to the lead going into the break, but nevertheless, Coach McGee's team doing a good job with an individual effort to find that equalizing goal. Fusz building it up from the back. Running up here along the near sideline is Schroer. They ultimately don't find her as O'Neill peels back through. O'Neill around the defender. Slides it up for Neidhart. And then ultimately played out by Henninger. Burns spun around a little bit as Foley was right there. Burns back through the middle. Hilton. Duffy. Burns again. Ocello. Both of these teams very good defensively, as you would expect of teams playing for a national championship. Legends only allowing 2 goals against. In group play is Bennett dancing around with it 10 yards outside the 18. Put into a dangerous spot. Burns was there. Duffy brings it down. Serves it back into the box, but nobody there except Blue. Netzel. Fusz for their efforts. Also only gave up 2 goals allowed in group play. They did allow 3 in the semifinals, but as long as you've scored more than your opponent, you'll make it here. A lot of shutouts for Legends. 0-0 in their first 2 matches in group play, and then winning 1-0 in the semifinals. As that one played off of Schroer and out, so winning an important throw-in here. Camper going to come up to take this, try to put it deep into the box. Kind of difficult to deal with the wind kind of swirling around. They go a little bit shorter with it. Wind continues to be blustery. Picked up probably about 5-10 minutes into the first half. Smith has it. Not too much space to turn. Schroer up the line. Ended up working out. Don't think that was the intention, but it gets on for Netzel. Coming back to help was Duffy. And now she'll head off onto the attacking end. Take it away before Romero could get there. Neidhart out-dueled by Duffy, but just a little bit from behind, and they give the free kick to Lou Fusz. Several clubs represented in the different age groups and between boys and girls here, coming from St. Louis. Obviously, Cal South always well represented. There were a couple Scott Gallagher teams, and Sporting St. Louis made a show as well in one of the younger age groups. Lou Fusz with a couple teams, and Schroer brings it up the left, hands it off to Netzel. Trying to keep it in, stomps on it, right on the line, drives into the box, served up for Neidhart. Kept alive by Keogh. Sent away, but only to midfield. Collision there as Judy draws the free kick. Coach Small not too pleased with that call, felt it was initiated by Lou Fusz.
Head on a swivel. Eric, this side, this side.
47th minute, we'll play 80 overall. Free kick coming in a dangerous spot, basically right in the middle of the field. Collins sets up the wall to her left. She stands basically in the middle of the goal, knowing that with this distance, it's easy to go up and over the goal. Shot going to be taken by Mazer, but ultimately wide. Kylie Mazer electing to go for the shot, as most people would in that situation. But couldn't curl it enough to sneak it inside that post. Early stages of the second half, White dispossesses. Sent through the midfield. Romero had her pocket picked. Neidhart looks to push onto the attack. Into the box, but numbers surrounding her in white. Neidhart carries all the way to the corner flag. Little step over before she tried to send it back. She will win the throw, though. Smith created space. Smith! A lovely little fake by Madeline Smith to put it onto her right foot. And then she just chipped it up and over the goalkeeper. Absolutely no chance for Jessica Collins to get that one based on where she was in the goal box. And now Lou Fusz with its first lead of the game. Goal comes in the 49th minute. First goal of the tournament for Madeline Smith, and what a time to pick it up. So now Legends IE facing a situation that they have not really been up against here in this national tournament. Almost always playing from ahead. Now we'll see what kind of metal they're made of, as this one's played by Camper and easily claimed. Times you'll see teams melt under the pressure when they're not used to being behind. Really have been given no indication that Legends IE is that kind of club, as they seem to play together very well and always with a reasonably calm demeanor. But when you're in the national championship game and all of a sudden find yourself down for the first time in quite some time, and it ends up as a situation that you're just not really sure what you're going to get out of. Free kick given, as there was a little bit of a duel there, and Keogh ended up taking down Henninger. Bennett coming over. Some of the girls from one of the other Legends clubs over on the far sideline chanting, "Let's go Legends." Making some noise over there in the corner. Haley Morway had to come over, make sure everybody was the right distance away. Now she'll blow the whistle and we'll get things back to live action. Neidhart able to jump up and get just enough of that one to disrupt it, and then played out of bounds by Foley. Quickly back in, looking for White, but Pope is right there. White tried to play it off of, I believe, Rutherford. Instead, it's off the other way. They got it up towards the middle third, but no further. Back the other way we go now with Camper in possession, slowly rolling onto her. One-time pass looking for Bennett. Disrupted there by Schroer. Bennett able to pick up the loose change. And then a little toe poke from Mercedes Schroer was all that she needed to get that one out. A lot of players back in blue right now. The only one even close to the half-field line is Netzel. And now we'll get a foul and a free kick coming the other way, much to the displeasure of Allison Camper. Didn't think she had done enough there to deserve the foul. The assistant referee, Ryan Need, didn't agree with her. Substitution coming in now for Legends IE. Back into the game is Chloe Tatalini. Tatalini replaces Henninger. Going back to the keeper. Now pressure coming. Trying to pass their way out of it. Throw in does favor Lou Fusz, as Schroer was able to shield that off just enough to keep it away from Tatalini. Schroer, good passing in tight quarters. Smith, who has the go-ahead goal, saw it picked right off of her foot. Romero has to peel back. Nothing in the way of options forward. Camper goes one time to the edge of the box. Headed away by Pope. Continued on as Netzel got a piece of it. Only enough to send it over the half line, though. Duffy, Netzel with the steal. Back through the middle. Here's Neidhart just outside the circle. Netzer calling for it, making the run, but the pass was right into a defender's foot as Duffy was able to thwart that one. Burns from the left, looking for White. Stayed in, but White couldn't get to it before Pope. A little bit of a slow up here for Lou Fusz. Mazer gets it back after she handed off to Neidhart. Curling ball towards the outside. Schroer making the run. Defender the last to touch it. Marcelo had to come back and deal with that one, knowing it would have gone out for a corner kick. Burns plays it up the line. Mazer saw that one come a little too far off the side of her foot and out. '55th minute, building up through the middle. Netzel a little too heavy on her initial touch. Then the steal made by O'Neal. Taken back by Burns. O'Neal spins her around, but Burns able to keep control. Little bit of a shoulder there from Keogh. Drop back by Smith. O'Neal looking for Smith. Way too heavy on it. Netzel comes back to help. That was actually Neidhart. Not a bad idea from Neidhart to let that run through as the dummy run, but I think she thought that Netzel was going to flash out towards the corner, and she stayed more towards the middle of the field. Ocello plays it up towards the half line, only to the circle before White picks it up. Tossed over here to the near wing, and then right back for Bennett in the middle. Took a bit of a bump from Pope as she was able to nudge that one just enough. Duffy, Netzel gets the better of it. Netzel taking it off to the right. Now puts it into the edge of the 18. Netzel able to slow it down just a little. Continuing on towards the line due to the wind. Now she sends it right back into the area, but this time Collins comes out. Some of the Lou Fusz fans trying to match the Legends IE girls. They're a little less organized, I guess you could say. Just individuals yelling things out, whereas the Legends team starting some chants. O'Neal takes it after the clearance was made. Keogh doing a good job to get back and step in front of that one before it got into a really dangerous area. Time continues to tick off the clock as we wait for the ball to re-enter the facility. They played it up over towards the fencing on the outside. Ledoux figured it was better to just send it away and let numbers come back to help. Here's Netzel, little rollover with the studs. Tried to hook up with Neidhart. That was stepped into. Camper saw it coming. Counterattack on for Burns. Calling for it and playing it into the run of Romero. Romero slowed up, trying to draw the corner kick. Knew she didn't have too much. They both dive after it. Schroer wins it. Smith. Neidhart. Switches it over towards the circle. O'Neal goes north. Now to the side, offside. Foley just a step in behind the defender. Substitution now for Legends. Back into the game is Bradbury. She will replace Duffy. Duffy put in some good work through the midfield, but looking for just a slightly different lineup. Burns, who had already kind of switched over here to the right, seems to have taken up that spot a little more permanently now that Bradbury has taken up more of a central, slightly to the left role. Looking for the back post. White is there, but it's dealt with as Rutherford came over. Dancing with it on the sideline. Pope able to keep it away from Bennett just long enough. Legends trying to force Lou Fusz into a mistake, but right now the back four for Lou Fusz is cool, calm, and collected. She can change at any moment as Pope tries to push forward. Looking to work at the give and go, but Pope wasn't on the same page as she had stopped up her run. Given right back in the midfield, though, as Smith brings it out left. Back onto the right foot. We have a stoppage. I don't think that the call was a foul. I think the worry for Haley Morway was potential head injury. And she kind of fell awkwardly there. So Smith, a little bit shaken up. Hopefully, perhaps just a whiplash situation, as that would probably be the best of the options. But she doesn't look too comfortable right now. Trainer will come out, see to her. Both teams coming over here to the sideline as they look to get a bit of a breather, get some water, try to freshen themselves up for the final push in this match. A little over halfway through this half. 62nd minute. Obviously, this is going to add on a little bit of time at the end. Haley Morway trying to get the players back on the field, get it going. Jose Arana doing the same. Everybody's got to clear off the water bottles. Just a little bit of a discussion there between the three near side officials as to how this was going to restart. They're going to do a drop ball, and Lou Fusz will do the sporting thing and just play it into the keeper. So with Collins in possession, they will try to set it up off the punt. Instead taken by Beck. And then Mazer. Neidhart lunges up into the air, and she draws the free kick. Hilton in on the contact. Neidhart draws it. It's always one of those awkward challenges where the attacking player kind of leaps up into the air going for the ball, and basically it's mostly a foul because space was taken away as opposed to any malicious contact. Beck lining this one up. Legends only going with a two-man wall. That's what Collins called for. Beck goes to the back post. I think she might have wanted to shoot that, but it came a little awkwardly off of her foot and basically went straight as an arrow. And I think she wanted to get a little more curl on it. Ted Small calling out some instruction to his players, wanting to change up the formation, at least the organization of it. Neidhart going through the wickets. Ocello shielded that one off, and Collins able to grab it before Neidhart could get there. Bennett coming back, took a bump from behind. That's going to draw the free kick, and that doesn't please Jillian Beck at all. There was enough contact in, and when you come from behind, you're going to give the official the decision to make one way or the other. Wind picks up again. White slows it up. Schroer right there. Keeps a hand right on her hip. Schroer dives in. And Ryan Nee calls for the foul. So it'll basically be somewhat of a short corner kick. It happened right around the end line. Caleb McKee telling his players to treat it exactly like a corner kick, which it will be. Bennett serves it in. A little too low, though, for much to happen in the positive way for Legends. Second opportunity, now awkwardly off the body of O'Neal. Ultimately grabbed by Davis. She stays down for a moment. Had a player fly over the top of her. Obviously no intention to injure, but when you kind of leap up into the air, I think there might have been contact, and perhaps with a trail foot. Davis seems no worse for wear after the challenge coming in from Bradbury. A little bit of a whack there on Keogh. Goes all the way back for Beck. Schroer almost hemmed in there. Good pressure from Bennett, but Schroer wise to the fact that she had some space if she circled back. Take it away from Neidhart. Throws a leg in, comes up empty-handed. Camper off of Neidhart and out. Substitution coming in now for Lou Fusz. Bryn Jeffries will come in, replacing Sarah Foley. '68th minute, 1-1, 2-1 your score. My apologies. Bennett drives it up towards the corner. Keeps the ball on a string. String slacking just a little bit. Allowed that one to roll out. Legends scored back in the 4th minute. Directly off the corner kick as the ball was spilled a little bit by the goalkeeper. Lou Fusz has answered with 2 goals. Chloe Netzel scoring in the 29th minute. And then the go-ahead goal for Madeline Smith in the 49th. Bradbury was trying to push forward. Bennett with it now. Burns calling for it outside. Schroer able to once again lunge in, and she has timed those tackles so well here. She did get called for a little bit of foul there just moments ago, allowing the free kick to happen, but for the most part, she has been really solid here at the left back. Camper hesitated just a little bit because she was afraid of that being blocked, but it ended up rolling just underneath her studs, giving up possession, and Lou Fusz with the throw. Players warming up for both teams, headed in the midfield. Catalini able to win the free kick, coming into a slightly dangerous area here. Ledoux right there, looking like she wants to take the kick. Bennett also up, giving them a couple options. Legends looking for an equalizing goal. Ledoux gonna serve it in, takes a bounce. White was there if there was any kind of spill, but Davis solid in behind the ball. Some of the canopies surrounding the official scorekeepers as well as the players' benches starting to raise up into the air due to the synthetic turf. They're basically just held down with rope and cinder blocks. As, you can't put stakes into the ground when you have synthetic turf. So the wind is starting to pick up even more. It seems to be somewhat inconsistent with where it connects with everything, because there's a windmill over to our right as Netzel gets into the box. Solidly out. That's confident right there from Jessica Collins. She knew that she had to come out and disrupt that one. Otherwise, Netzel would have had a good crack at it. Both coaches asking their players to dig deep, find that little bit of something extra. Haley Morway calling for another player for Lou Fusz to be seen to. So Lou Fusz with Kaylee Judy coming into the game. She's going to replace Chloe Netzel. So that's a pretty big blow for Lou Fusz, losing their best attacking player, obviously with the lead already in their hands. Not a situation to where they need to necessarily look for goals, but sometimes when you don't have the option, then it becomes too focused on defense. Still a lot in the way of attacking options, though, for Lou Fusz, as Neidhart has put some good work in, but slightly better suited as a service player with some speed and pace on the wings. Good interception, though, through the midfield. Pushing it up now is Romero. Serves one up off the defender, Keogh, and out to claim it was Davis. Good run from Camper. She just couldn't get on the end of it. Schroer all the way back to her goalkeeper. Pope. Outside for Jeffries. As Jeffries' insertion pushed Rutherford up to the attacking wing. They try to lob it over the top. Rutherford with a lot of speed, but defender was closer to it initially. Wind caught that one, curled it over towards the sideline away from Burns. It's going to be a Lou Fusz throw. Lou Fusz making a substitution as Madeline Smith will come back into the game, and that's good to see as she's been seen to the appropriate officials, not needing to go into any kind of head injury protocol. And that draws a big round of applause from the Lou Fusz fans. Schroer, crunching tackle, but winning the ball first as Romero pushes it up. This is either going to go out over the end line or the sideline. The sideline is where it goes in the end, but that had too much pace on it to be held by the confines of the field. Legends putting the pressure on, trying to hem Lou Fusz in. Just about 5 minutes left in regulation, give or take. Looping one over the top. The intended target was Romero, but she knew that Schroer was going to get there first. O'Neal in the midfield. Swaps it over for Rutherford. Far side, eyes up the defender. Lays it back for Smith in the midfield. Smith continues it back for Pope. All the way back, and it's Davis. Trying to force a mistake, and they do! Camper! Davis is back in the goal, and then Camper was too heavy on the touch. It went out. That could have been catastrophic, but Davis gets away with it. I think her heart rate increased by about 10 to 15 beats there. A few lumps in the throats of Lou Fusz fans. As their life, at least their soccer life, flashed before their eyes. Jeffries, Smith with it, all the way back to Pope. Jeffries again, serves it back for Pope. O'Neal, looping one over the top. Rutherford brings it down, took a little bounce, but it came right back to her. And then she just spins it up towards the goal box. Jeffries takes it back in so she can pick it up. Looking for the punt, goes too high in the air so the wind catches it. Smith able to hold up the run just a little bit, but now here comes White. Numbers pushing forward in White as it's the last gasp perhaps for Legends IE. White gets the cross off. Beck had it caught up between the wickets briefly, but she was able to serve it out in the end. Rutherford for O'Neal. Nice little pass for Neidhart. They were looking for Judy here on the near side. It eventually gets to her. She carries into the box. Stabbing play from Hilton. That one runs out, but for a goal kick. Judy not too pleased with that call as she felt that it went out before they played it off of her. Time taken away. 78th minute. Neidhart goes out wide for Rutherford. Rutherford drives past the defender. Ledoux did well in recovery. Rutherford finds a bit of space now. Ledoux struggling to get back this time. And Rutherford plays it off of Ledoux for the corner. Substitution coming in now as Metzel will return to the game. Metzel with the first goal. It was the equalizer back in the 29th minute. She, as well as Smith, had to get checked out by the training staff. But she doesn't have to enter the protocol either and able to return to the match. Haven't seen any indication yet on how much stoppage time will be added on. With a couple brief injuries, you would have to figure maybe around 2 minutes. Collins bobbled it just briefly, trying to go quickly with it. Much better kick this time. It's going to get all the way to the half line. Camper with the nod, gets it up to White. And there's the whistle. Came in a little bit late as Morway wanted to see how the play was going to transpire, see if anybody would have flashed towards the ball. And a yellow card handed out as well. Jeffries goes into the book. Yellow card handed out in the 80th minute. Fourth official preparing the board. Going to put the stoppage time up here in just a moment. 4 minutes of additional time. So a bit of a reprieve right now for Legends as they look to put this free kick into a dangerous spot. White! She was in a fantastic spot to get that one towards goal. She got a really good flick onto it. Couldn't have done much better except perhaps steer it more towards that far post. But it ended up safely in the hands of Davis. Legends IE starting to feel it though. That anxious feeling. Time slipping away from them. Lou Fusz perhaps doing a little too much defending. Not too much else you can do when your opponent trying to throw everything, including the kitchen sink at you. Hilton has it. Netzel able to get in front, disrupt that. Neidhart with possession. She's just going to lob it up towards the corner. Collins all the way out. Not wanting that one to roll out. Collins will take it into the box. She's going to pick it up, put it back into play off the punt. Again, high up into the air, not quite to midfield because of the wind. Back towards the circle. Bradbury looking for options. Bennett was the intended target here on the near side. Nice little dink. Schroer pops it up towards the corner. But again, just a bit too much on it. Not a bad idea, though, as it ends up rolling out on the touchline, so it's a throw, making it difficult for Legends IE to get out of their defensive end. Hilton. Burns was an option. Instead, she goes up towards the midfield stripe. Netzel coming all the way back, as was Neidhart. Neidhart putting on the pressure. Just about 2 minutes in out of 4 additional minutes. Neidhart sticks out a leg, doesn't come up with anything. Near side now for Romero. Waits for the overlapping run. Tries to drive it into space herself. Now she finds Burns with the pass. Burns, a curler in, and that hits the side netting. Substitution going to be made by Caleb McKee. He's going to put Kaylee Judy back into the game. She'll give Casey Neidhart a break. Do or die time here for both teams. Schroer wins it, settles down for Romero though. Flashes one outside, Bennett slows it up, stomps on the ball, and then plays it through the defender. Coming back with Schroer, keeps it in play nicely. She could have just blasted that one out, and instead her team ends up with a throw-in on the near sideline due to a fantastic decision for her to keep it in. Smith just going to send it up to the goal box. Collins comes out, electing not to want to punt it, going to play it from the ground. Decent drive in behind it, but not on target for Camper. O'Neal sends it through the middle, took a touch on the way through. One last push perhaps for Legends. Jeffries chasing it down, White is on her, Jeffries plays it out. The official pushing the Legends IE club back. We've played 4 minutes, so the whistle could come at any moment. Into the box. Bennett spun around. Ball sent away, but not cleared completely. Now it's out. There's the final whistle. Lou Fusz win the Mavis Derflinger Cup, and they are national champions for 2019. St. Louis, with all its soccer history, is home to another national champion. As the 16 and under group for Lou Fusz, coached by Caleb McKee, end up winning by a final of 2-1. Legends IE got things rolling in the first few minutes, scoring in the 4th minute of play directly off the corner kick. Lou Fusz would not be denied, scoring in the 29th minute. A nice little switch over, and Chloe Netzel able to tuck it into the far netting. And then the game-winning goal would come from Madeline Smith, who would do almost the exact same thing, getting a good shot off from the middle of the pitch and looping one over the goalkeeper. She has the game-winning goal to win a national championship. So as the players celebrate, they get a round of applause, and they're going to go over and celebrate with their parents and friends and family over on the far side. Why not? They've all put so much time and effort in to help these players get to where they are, so they deserve a round of applause as well, as do the officials for the best selected to referee this national championship. Haley Morway, Ryan Nee, Joey Knuff, and Jose Arana doing a good job here in this national championship. But that'll just about wrap it up for our coverage here. We hope you enjoyed today's contest. We'll leave you with the sights and sounds as the players celebrate and receive their national championship gear. But for everybody here at Turbo Sports Group, for Kevin making us look good down in the truck, I'm Todd Panula. Goodbye from Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex, and good night. Today's match is brought to you by AE Engine, AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags, Target, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Expanda Brand, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLS, NCSA, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sunmade, TA Petro, United Soccer Coaches, U.S. Soccer Federation, Wilson Trophy Company.